Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at Sushi. And before we do, we usually look at Bitcoin, but I'll just make a review on that completely all together on its own. But just know Bitcoin's stuck right around 46, 47,000, effectively going sideways at that key level support. And we'll see soon if that holds or not. A lot of things are on the razor's edge right now. There's still a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt based on that sentiment alone. We need higher highs and higher lows from Bitcoin, or we're never going to break that trend. A lot of altcoins are taking off a little bit, which is great to see, but just note that they could retrace at any moment based on that sentiment alone. Okay, but that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at Sushi. And this is the 1 week chart, just kind of get you a quick perspective. We kind of got this key level resistance on the RSI right around 50. So we can kind of see that that is a reflectant of about $9.40, that key level resistance level on the Fibonacci retracement line. So just keep that in mind. That's holding the price action down presently. But I think we'll be able to break that soon because it looks like we are shifting back in a momentous trend here, bouncing off of, kind of right around the range of about $8.08. So 808 was a nice little bounce. That was actually a previous, high, if you will, or in other words, a previous point in which the price couldn't go much further. So we can kind of see that as like a nice little secondary support. So it's kind of cool to see that. And then if we kind of look at, of course, the RSI on the 1 day, we can see a bounce off of 50. That is that support level I just marked, right around $8 even as a rough estimate. But we do have a potential bearish divergence that's going to bounce, right? So that could effectively happen. We don't know for sure exactly what's going to take place, but if we look at the MACD, we're not by any means overextended. This is a healthy correction that needed to happen. So just bear in mind, when the price came down as low as it did, it's not a bad thing. We need to see this happen more often in order for these parabolic increases to kind of correct themselves. Not to say this is parabolic by any state of the imagination, but it definitely had a pretty strong continuation. In fact, if we take a look at TD sequential, we hit a 9 and we got a reset, and we're down back to a 4. So we could expect another week's worth of consolidation from Sushi just based on that sentiment alone. I don't feel like it's going to just consolidate right now. I think we might see the price kind of go sideways a little bit for being between $8 and $9. And then once it breaks that plane of 940, or I guess more so specifically 950, 938. I can't read today. Anyways, yeah, this key level resistance, once we get past that, we're going to be in pretty good shape to essentially be able to, continue to progress upwards. Between now and then, just expect a little bit more consolidation based on the fact that, yes, we've had 3 or 4 days of downtrend, but we're off of a nice support level there and we're holding pretty strong, okay? So pending Bitcoin doesn't do anything stupid, we're going to be looking at Sushi making slow gains, and I would say higher highs and higher lows are a likelihood. Okay, we can kind of already see that forming here on the 4 hour. So let's take a look at the moving averages. We can see a slight rejection off the 50-day SIP moving average, but the 200 is trailing behind. So that is, again, kind of synonymous with that we'll just say $9.35 is a round number. So 935 is essentially that key level resistance. And the 50 is kind of traveling very, very close to that. It's right around 925. So we can expect some resistance between 925 and 935, but once we break that and close above, preferably on the 1 day candlestick, get that 1 day candle to close above that resistance zone, we'll be in much better shape to consider this to be more so bullish versus kind of right now. You can see it's not terrible, but we're still considered bearish. We're seeing that 50 on the RSI working as a potential resistance. And once again, that's synonymous with with the 50-day simple moving average. So I know we're throwing a lot of 50s out there at you, but oftentimes when you see the resistance level on 50 with RSI, it's synonymous with either a key level Fibonacci retracement level or the 50-day SMA in this case. They're both kind of hanging out right there. So again, just reaffirming the fact that we have a strong resistance there. And in fact, if we kind of take a look at the volume profile, I'm willing to guess it's going to be somewhere in that range. So we take kind of the most recent low and put that into the equation here. You can see the volume accumulation right there at that key level resistance. So not only is a 50-day simple moving average averaging out there, we got a Fibonacci retracement level, a lot of strength there, so to speak. So it's not going to, I wouldn't say we're going to expect to see the price blast through that, which is why I think we're going to see some consolidation sideways here for a little bit to build up that volume profile closer to $8 and then build up that base so we can move the price back upwards. Again, just theoretical. That's a strong likelihood based on what I see here so far. Again, just nothing's guaranteed. You got to understand that in trading, but a lot of these indicators help you kind of get a leg up where it's like, okay, this is like a 70% probability, and you take a lot of probabilities and put them together, and that's kind of how you make your assessment. So take a look at, see here, TD sequential, we're probably going to see a bunch of resets here. In fact, we came up to a 9 recently on that nice little bounce. Sideways action, we're back up to a 3. So we potentially have another, 6 to 10 hours worth of bullish continuation of the upside. Again, it'll probably just test that key level resistance and get rejected, but the more volume we have there, the better, right? If we can average that out. And then let's take a look at the Ichimoku Cloud. Price action, the lagging span is pretty clear of price action. The price is trying to break above the cloud. It kind of got rejected by that resistance we've already discussed at 925. So right now you'd probably, I don't know, it's right on the edge where it's like, okay, do you take a long position? Do you take a day trade, for example, in this scenario? I would say no, because we don't have full-on confirmation that the cloud has been broken. Because if you have just say, for example, you see a price break above the cloud, that's a good sign. But when the price comes right back down below the cloud immediately after, which we're seeing right now, then that's not a great sign. It basically means that that key level resistance is still holding. So this is probably still a resistance level for the moment until we break that plane. But here's two positive factors. We got the conversion line above the baseline. We've got the lagging span free and clear of any price action. So I think the likelihood of Sushi trying to make another push to break that resistance is fairly high. Again, will it break that? It still yet remains to be seen, right? We don't know specifically. We can't address that yet. It's more theoretical, like I was saying, but all the indicators we're seeing so far is that Sushi should expect to go sideways for some time. But on the micro, we could expect another push higher to try to test that key level resistance between 925 and 935. If we can break that plane and close on the one-day candlestick, just say here in about 7 more hours, we might be in really, really good shape. But just know for right now, I wouldn't be surprised if the price consolidates between, what was it, right around $8 and $9 as a rough estimate over the next 24 to 48 hours, build that foundation, and then push up to leg up through that key level resistance once more, okay? That's kind of what we're looking at there. So all in all, not in bad shape. That's the main reason why I recommended on our swing trade for our community that we take entry in the range of just say, I think it was $8.50 to $9, because that's right where that key level support was at previously. But now that the price is below, it's considered a key level resistance. Not to be a major concern for you. I'm not trying to scare you at all, because I do think Sushi still has strong potential. But we just got to be real in the sense that on the one day, we can tell we got this overextension. We're only about 5 days into this potential retracement. I think we're at the bottom. I don't think the price is going to go any lower than $8 as a rough estimate, but we got to respect the fact that there's a lot of volume above the price action right now in the short term, and that's going to work as a tentative resistance until we build a stronger base. So it'd be great if we got some consolidation closer to 8. Consider adding to your position, because I think the likelihood of Sushi increasing is very high. I do feel we're going to see our profit target within the next week or two, but at this point in time, don't be concerned with the lack of bounce back, because this is standard movement for a coin that's performed the way that it has recently. Okay, because you got to understand here, one last thing, it did increase 111% in no less than what, 7, 8, 9 trading days. Okay, so again, there's a strong likelihood we'll see that kind of continuation up here, and I think that we will hit our profit targets to get that 50-60% gain from its current highest point, or I would say more so about 80% from where it's at presently. So, again, this is definitely a good potential coin, good one to have in your portfolio, but don't expect miracles in the immediate future, right? 24, 48 hours, we'll take another look at this again here soon and reevaluate. And we just got a potential resistance level between 925 and 935. All right, so hopefully you found benefit here. If you learned something, go ahead and comment below. If you are new to the channel, consider becoming a member, and obviously feel free to reach out to me through social media if you have any questions. I'm confident you'll find benefit. I got a trading academy rolling out at the end of the month, and of course making sure that we have all the necessary tools for you to become a self-sufficient trader and a community to go along with that. So you can bounce ideas off people, you can have this collaborative dynamic environment. It's a really amazing experience for more than just myself included. Everyone is very high in their self-esteem as far as just knowing that we have somewhere to turn when we have questions. Okay, so awesome situation. Check that out in your own time. Thanks again for joining me here. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take great care.